Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And it's a 1964 penny from the United States of America. We have a Philly up here with no mint mark, a Denver up here, even though it looks like a B, it's a D. Another Denver down here, and another Philly. And these are not in the greatest shape. Especially for us, we should be able to get some nice looking coins from 1964. It turns out that there aren't that many great looking coins from 1964, and there's kind of a reason for that. And that is because 1964, 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint and the U.S. Congress tried to destroy coin collecting. It all started in 1964 because they didn't have enough coins for everybody to use at the banks and in businesses around the United States. So they said, what can we do to make it so coin collectors don't keep them anymore? So in 1964, they instituted what they called a date freeze. Many of the pennies from 1964 were made in 1965. They couldn't make them fast enough, and so they made them in 2 different years and put 1964 on them. They also, when they went to 65 through 67, didn't put any mint marks on any coins. They said to the collectors, hey, you want to collect them, you can, but there's not going to be any mint marks on them, and we're not going to tell you what mints they came from. And it turns out collectors are very interested in where the coin was made and what the mint mark is. They also really reduced the quality of the coins, and you can see that in many cases in the coins as you try to find them. There just aren't as many quality coins from 1964 as there are from almost every other year, and that's especially true of the United States pennies. In 1964, they made some at Philadelphia and they made some at San Francisco. They didn't put mint marks on either one of them, and they made them in both 1964 and 1965. So they made about 200 million San Francisco mint pennies with no mint mark on them, and you can't tell the difference between them and the Philadelphias. If you can get a no mint mark penny from 1964 and it's mint state 67 plus, it's worth $13,500. Now these are of course the memorial reverse. In 1964 the memorial reverse had been around for a while, and here's one of the worst memorial reverses you'll ever see. You can't really even tell that Lincoln's in there. Yeah, if you tip it way up, maybe you can. You can read the initials of Frank Asparo on the back. Let's see if we can see the initials on the front. Victor David Brenner, you can almost, yeah, you can see them. In 1964, no S mint marks though. At the Denver Mint in 1964, they did a lot of rush jobs there too. And so you can see this one's actually kind of worn through. These are 95% copper coins with about 5% zinc or tin, a brass coin. In Denver, they made 3.8 billion. And they found 4 so far at mint state 67 plus, and those are worth $4,550. So there's no MS 68s or 69s or 70s at Denver, and there's no MS 68, 69, or 70 at Philly. They just didn't make them that well in 1964. What about the proof set? Well, the proof sets were all made in Philly. They have a special shine to them. They usually look better than this. They made 4 million of them. If you can find a proof 70 deep cameo, they've only found one ever, it's worth about $1,250. So what did we have in 1964? Well, we had a date freeze, and so they made them in 64 and 65. We had a kind of misleading mint marks because they made some at the San Francisco Mint but didn't tell you that. And we had no S's on the United States penny until 1968. One other thing happened in 1964, and we talked about that in other videos. Because they wanted to see if they could make what they called a special mint set for collectors, they made some mock-ups of them in 1964, and they are out there. There's these specialty, they call them SMS sets from Philadelphia, special mint sets, and they are out there. So you can look up and get information on them. The chances of you finding them are very low. So we got the San Francisco doppelganger. We don't know if any of the coins from 1964 without a mint mark were made at San Francisco or at Philly, and we don't know whether they were made in 1964 or 1965 for any of the mints. All right, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.